All right, gang, I have another editorial for you on this Monday morning. We're going to stay in Kentucky. We're going to talk about something there in Kentucky. This blew my mind. This is like a Twilight Zone. But some of you may not know. Some of you may go, I knew it. I knew it. What am I talking about? Thank you, USA Today, for this story. Governor Andy Beshear reacted to a report Friday showing a Kentucky State Police training slideshow quoting Adolf Hitler 3 times and advocating officers to use ruthless violence, calling it unacceptable. Students in the journalism program at Louisville's DuPont Manual High School obtained the slideshow from the agency through an open records request and first reported it. Governor Andy Beshear said in an emailed statement, "This is absolutely unacceptable. It is further unacceptable that I just learned about this through social media. We will collect all the facts and take immediate corrective action." And I just need to say something real quick here. Governor Andy Beshear, most things you're going to learn about in the nation are going to be from social media in today's society. Of course, we still have CNN and headline news and eyewitness news and MSNBC and world news and all of that. Sure, we do. Television still has its news shows. But a lot of things you're going to be hearing about and learning are going to come through, in today's society, through social media, whether it's YouTube or whether it's Twitter or whether it's Facebook. You're going to get a lot of your down-to-earth, right there neighborhood street news from social media. A lot of your mainstream media, whether it's MSNBC or CNN or Fox News or, headline news, a lot of them are dealing with, right now, the pandemic or some riot in some huge city or the elections between Biden and Trump. You see what I'm saying? The police interaction that's going on in, bumfuck Indiana or screw you Baltimore, Maryland, or screw you Maryland. I said screw you Baltimore, screw you Maryland, or what have you. That's going to come through social media. That's why I do my editorials every day. This is why I do my editorials, because a lot of it's in the newspaper, but it's in the newspaper locally. A lot of people don't know what's going on in bumfuck Indiana or screw you Baltimore, Maryland, or whatever. A lot of people don't know about these little incidents that's going on across the nation. They know about the election. They know about the pandemics. They know about the huge protests that are going on in Los Angeles and New York and Chicago, but they don't know about, back in the woods, Texas, where some cop did something, or, down in the river, Georgia, where some other cop did something. So social media, Andy Beshear, is where you're going to be learning a lot of today's news and today's events. Kind of like this one. Let's move on. As reported by the Manual Red Eye, one slide in the training material for Kentucky State Police cadets, titled "Violence of Action," tells officers to meet violence with greater violence and be a ruthless killer. The slide then quotes a line from Hitler's Mein Kampf. Quote, "The very first essential for success is a perpetually constant and regular employment of violence." One of 3 from the genocidal German dictator in the presentation. The closing slide of the training states "Über alles" in large text, a phrase that is associated with nationalism and Nazis in Germany. The Red Eye reported a Kentucky State Police captain said in a deposition 2 weeks ago, this warrior mentality training was taught to cadets by former Lieutenant Kurt Hall, the assistant commander at its academy from 2005 to 2015, who was later commander of internal affairs at Kentucky State Police before his recent retirement. You guys hear that? Did you hear that? It said, this warrior mentality, which was taught to cadets by a commander of the academy, later became commander of internal affairs. Warrior mentality. Are you hearing me? Move on. Kentucky State Police spokesman Joshua Lawson told the Red Eye he did not know how long the slideshow was used to train cadets or if it's still used. Lawson said, quote, "The quotes are used for their content and relevance to the topic addressed in the presentation. The presentation touches on several aspects of service, selflessness, and moral guidance. All of these topics go to the fundamentals of law enforcement, such as treating everyone equally, service to the public, and being guided by law. Lawson did not immediately respond to a request for comment Friday afternoon from the Courier-Journal, though a spokeswoman for the Kentucky Justice and Public Safety Cabinet later condemned the training material and said it hasn't been used for many years. Cabinet spokeswoman Morgan Hall, in an email, stated, "It is unacceptable that this material was ever included in the training of law enforcement. Our administration does not condone the use of this material. The material is not currently a part of any training materials and was removed in 2013. The Anti-Defamation League, whose mission is to stop the defamation of the Jewish people and secure justice and fair treatment to all, tweeted that using Hitler's words in the slideshow was inexcusable. The Anti-Defamation League is actively working in the state to determine what happened and ensure it doesn't happen again." Here's their tweet. "It is entirely inexcusable for the words of Hitler to be used in training Kentucky State Police. The Anti-Defamation League is actively working in the state to determine what happened and ensure it doesn't happen again." Jefferson Police Chief Rick Sanders, who served as Kentucky State Police Commissioner from 2015 to 2019 under former Governor Matt Bevin, told the Courier-Journal he'd never heard of such a training. "I never heard of it. I never heard of it." What the fuck? Current Kentucky State Police Commissioner Rodney Brewer also served as the Commissioner of Kentucky State Police under the entire 8-year term of former Governor Steve Beshear from 2007 to 2015. Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron issued a statement to the Courier-Journal denouncing the Kentucky State Police training. "Why anyone would feel it's appropriate to quote Adolf Hitler is beyond me," Cameron said. "I don't think this is representative of the men and women who serve in the thin gray line." Notice he says thin gray line. See, he's trying to change it a little. And I'm not knocking the guy, but he doesn't say anything about blue line. He says the thin gray line. See, we're gray. We're not blue. We live in the gray area. U.S. Representative John Yarmouth tweeted he was angry and embarrassed as a Kentuckian. He said, "And as a Jewish American, I am genuinely disturbed that there are people like this who not only walk among us, but who have been entrusted to keep us safe. There needs to be consequences." Louisville Urban League President Sadiqa Reynolds called the Kentucky State Police slideshow unbelievable and disgusting. Tweeting Friday afternoon, she had just spoken to an angry Beshear about the story and the agency's response. Reynolds tweeted, "He was yelling. He is upset and frustrated by the Kentucky State Police response." Louisville has had widespread racial justice and anti-police brutality protests since May, when details of the fatal shooting of Breonna Taylor in her home by Louisville Metro Police Department officers was made public. Kentucky State Police and Louisville Metro Police Department officers were also accused by many protesters of using excessive force in downtown Louisville, including the use of tear gas and pepper bullets. Many racial justice activists were outraged when none of the 3 officers who fired into their home were indicted for any felonies involving Taylor's death by a grand jury, casting particular blame at Cameron, the special prosecutor. And so, but the thing that gets me is, I mean, there's questions here. Is this training still being used? And if not, why doesn't anybody know about it from when it was being used? And another thing, what is in this training? Now, a lot of people are saying it's not being used anymore, but is it not? I mean, obviously they didn't know about it when it was being used. I never heard of this training. So how do you know they've even stopped using it? They could still be training them with this. You don't know that. You don't even know it was being used. There's a slide from the Kentucky State Police training presentation quoting Hitler. It says, "Ruthlessness without anger, controlled aggression without anger, able to meet violence with greater violence. A mindset void of emotion where perception, analysis, and response merge into one process. Void of emotion. perceptions and actions are not hindered by the potential of death. Albert Einstein said the world is a dangerous place, not because of those who do evil, but because of those who look on and do nothing. Good cops, that's you. And then, of course, Adolf Hitler. The very first essential for success is a perpetually constant and regular employment of violence. That's on a slide for police training in Kentucky. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. Community Leo Watch, watching Leos. That's law enforcement officers to include cadets in Kentucky from coast to coast.